Ladies and gentlemen, not with your ears, but with the depths of your being. The truth is this: everyone who enters your life will one day leave. The hands you hold today may not always be there to hold yours tomorrow. But do not despair, for this is the way of life. It is not a curse, but a sacred design to awaken you to the infinite power within. The world teaches you to fear being alone. But I tell you, this solitude is not loneliness, it is the gateway to discovering who you truly are. When others walk away, they do not take your strength with them. They leave behind an empty space, a space you must fill with your own light. Stop chasing those who no longer wish to stay. Understand that their departure is not your loss, but your liberation. It is life whispering to you, turn inward, for there is a treasure here that you have overlooked. The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the one you cultivate with yourself. When you rely on the external world to validate your worth, you are like a tree without roots, swayed by every wind. But when you root yourself in the infinite power of your mind, you become immovable. Begin now to see yourself as whole, even when others leave. Speak to yourself as though you are your greatest love, your most trusted ally. I am enough, you declare. And in that declaration, you will find all that you have ever sought in others. Solitude is not the absence of others, it is the presence of self. When you learn to survive alone, you awaken to a deeper truth: you were never truly alone. The infinite spirit within you is your constant companion, your unfailing guide. So do not fear when people leave. Release them with gratitude, for they have fulfilled their role in your story. And as they go, turn your gaze inward. There, in the quiet depths of your being, you will find the strength to not just survive, but to flourish. Life is a river, ever flowing and ever changing. The people, places, and moments that come into our lives are like ripples on the surface of that river, beautiful, fleeting, and impossible to hold. Yet we often find ourselves clinging to these ripples, desperate to freeze them in time, longing for them to remain exactly as they are. This attachment to permanence, to the illusion that things will stay the same, is the root of much of our suffering. Consider the relationships we cherish. When we love someone, we often wish for that connection to remain untouched by the tides of change. We imagine that love will always feel as it does in its most tender moments, that the bond will never fray, and that the person we care for will never leave. But people are not static beings. They grow, evolve, and sometimes drift away. To resist this truth is to resist the very nature of life. The same applies to our circumstances. When we achieve success, we want to hold on to it forever. When we experience joy, we want it to linger. But success can fade, and joy is as impermanent as the clouds in the sky. Seasons change, opportunities come and go, and even the brightest days eventually give way to night. This is not a flaw in the design of life, it is its essence. By clinging to what is transient, we set ourselves up for heartache. We grasp at relationships, possessions, and experiences, trying to keep them from slipping through our fingers. Yet the tighter we hold on, the more we feel the sting of loss when they inevitably change or fade away. Life does not offer guarantees, and nothing in this world is meant to remain exactly as it is. But herein lies an extraordinary truth. When we embrace the impermanence of life, we free ourselves from the chains of suffering. To see life as it truly is, a series of moments, each unique and irreplaceable, is to understand its profound beauty. Instead of clinging to what was or worrying about what might be, we can learn to live fully in the present, appreciating each moment for the gift that it is. Growth often comes from the very impermanence we resist. When a relationship ends, it may hurt deeply, but it also creates space for new connections, new lessons, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. When we lose something we value, it forces us to reassess what truly matters and to find strength we didn't know we had. Loss is not the end, it is a doorway to transformation. The world around us mirrors this truth. The seasons shift, flowers bloom and wither, the sun rises and sets. Nature does not mourn these changes, it embraces them as part of a greater cycle. In the same way, we are meant to flow with life, not against it. To cling to permanence is to deny ourselves the richness of life's ebb and flow. This does not mean we should become indifferent or detached. Loving deeply and cherishing what we have are integral parts of the human experience. But true love, whether for a person, a moment, or a dream, does not demand permanence. It understands that the beauty of something lies in its impermanence. A sunset is breathtaking precisely because it does not last forever. A flower's fragility is what makes it precious. Learning to let go is not about giving up, it is about trusting the process of life. It is about understanding that when one door closes, another opens. It is about realizing that we are never truly losing, we are simply transitioning from one chapter to the next. When we embrace the impermanence of life, we become more resilient. We stop fearing change and start welcoming it as an opportunity for growth. We no longer see endings as failures but as natural progressions. We begin to find joy not in holding on but in experiencing life fully, moment by moment. Letting go of the illusion of permanence is not easy. It requires courage to face uncertainty and faith to believe that what lies ahead will serve our highest good. But as we release our grip on what was and surrender to what is, we discover a profound sense of peace. We learn to trust that life, in all its impermanence, is guiding us exactly where we need to be. So let the river of life flow freely. Cherish the ripples as they come, but do not mourn their passing. Each moment, fleeting as it may be, holds its own unique beauty. By embracing the impermanence of life, we unlock the door to true freedom, growth, and a deeper appreciation for the ever-changing dance of existence. Within each of us lies a realm untouched by the chaos of the outside world, a sanctuary that holds the essence of who we truly are. This inner reality is the seat of our strength, the wellspring from which all that we desire and all that we are flows. Yet so often we seek validation, fulfillment, and peace from external sources, believing that our happiness depends on circumstances, people, or possessions. In doing so, we overlook the boundless power within us, the power to shape our lives, transform our experiences, and anchor ourselves in unwavering peace. Your imagination is not just a tool for idle daydreaming, it is the architect of your reality. Every thought, every vision you hold within your mind carries the potential to manifest in the world around you. When you learn to dwell in the sanctuary of your imagination, crafting thoughts and images that align with your deepest desires, you awaken a creative force that can move mountains. What you consistently imagine with conviction becomes the blueprint for your life. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner, therefore, by mastering your inner reality, you gain mastery over your external circumstances. Yet this power is often underestimated or misunderstood. Many believe that change must come from exerting control over the physical world, from pushing, striving, and battling against perceived obstacles. But the truth is far simpler and infinitely more profound. The world you experience is a mirror of your inner state. If you carry turmoil within, it will manifest as chaos around you. If you nurture peace and abundance within, your external reality will echo that harmony. Building a life rooted in inner peace begins with recognizing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but the creator of your experience. This realization is liberating. No longer do you need to wait for the world to grant you permission to be happy, successful, or fulfilled. You hold that power within you at every moment. The key is to turn inward, to cultivate a relationship with your inner self, and to consciously choose thoughts and feelings that uplift and empower you. Inner peace is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to remain centered and unshaken amidst them. It is the calm in the storm, the unwavering light that guides you through the darkest times. To access this peace, you must learn to quiet the noise of the external world and listen to the still, small voice within. Meditation, reflection, and deliberate imagination are powerful practices that help you connect with this inner sanctuary. As you spend more time in this sacred space, you will find that the opinions of others, the fluctuations of fortune, and the uncertainties of life lose their grip on you. Your inner reality is also a place of limitless potential. In this realm, there are no boundaries, no restrictions, and no limitations. You can envision yourself as the person you wish to become, living the life you dream of. And as you hold that vision with faith and persistence, it begins to take form in the physical world. This is not wishful thinking, it is the natural law of creation. Just as a seed, when nurtured, grows into a tree, so too does a thought, when sustained, grow into reality. But to harness the power of your inner reality, you must be vigilant about the thoughts you entertain. Doubt, fear, and negativity can creep in, distorting the visions you hold and undermining your creative power. To guard against this, make a habit of focusing on what you desire rather than what you fear. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, and trust in your ability to create the life you envision. It is also vital to approach this process with patience and trust. Just as a farmer does not dig up the seeds to check their growth, you must not doubt the seeds of thought you plant in your imagination. Trust that the unseen forces of life are working on your behalf, aligning circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring your vision to fruition. The more you dwell in the sanctuary of your inner reality, the less you will depend on the world around you to dictate your sense of self-worth and happiness. You will become unshakable, rooted in the knowledge that everything you need is already within you. This is true freedom, the ability to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you are the master of your destiny, the creator of your experience. As you cultivate this inner strength, you will find that your outer world begins to shift in ways that seem almost magical. Opportunities will arise, challenges will dissolve, and relationships will flourish. This is the power of inner reality. It transforms not only your perception but also your experience of life. And in this transformation, you will discover a profound truth: the peace, joy, and fulfillment you have sought were never outside of you, they were within you all along. True freedom begins when you realize that everything you need to feel whole, content, and fulfilled already resides within you. Yet so much of life is spent seeking validation, security, and happiness from external sources, whether through relationships, possessions, or social approval. This dependence, while often comforting in the moment, slowly erodes your spirit. It creates a cycle of reliance where your sense of well-being hinges on factors beyond your control. But when you cultivate self-sufficiency, you reclaim your power. You discover that liberation is not found in others, but in your ability to stand firm within yourself. Dependence on others, while natural to a degree, becomes detrimental when it dictates your happiness or self-worth. When you rely on external forces to provide fulfillment, you surrender your autonomy and tether yourself to the ever-changing tides of life. People may leave, circumstances may shift, and possessions may fade, leaving you vulnerable and unanchored. To build a life rooted in self-sufficiency is to anchor yourself in something unshakable, your own inner strength and resilience. Self-sufficiency does not mean isolation or rejecting help from others. It is not about closing yourself off from meaningful connections or refusing the beauty of shared experiences. Rather, it is about ensuring that your foundation is strong enough to withstand any storm. It is the ability to find joy in solitude, to pursue your goals without waiting for approval, and to trust in your capacity to navigate life's challenges on your own terms. The journey towards self-sufficiency begins with self-awareness. You must first recognize the areas where you have outsourced your power. Perhaps you seek constant reassurance from others, feeling uneasy when left alone. Maybe you derive your self-worth from external achievements, needing accolades or recognition to feel valuable. Or you might rely on material possessions to create a sense of security. Identifying these dependencies is the first step to breaking free from them. Once you've recognized your patterns, the next step is to shift your focus inward. Instead of looking to others to fill emotional voids, turn to yourself. Ask yourself what truly makes you happy, not what you've been told should make you happy. Spend time exploring your passions, cultivating your skills, and nurturing your inner world. As you invest in yourself, you'll find that the need for external validation diminishes. You become your own source of fulfillment. Building self-sufficiency also requires embracing solitude. Many people fear being alone, associating it with loneliness or a lack of connection. But solitude is not something to fear, it is a sacred space where you can reconnect with yourself. In solitude, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want. You learn to enjoy your own company and to draw strength from within. When you are comfortable being alone, you become less dependent on the presence of others to feel complete. Another key aspect of self-sufficiency is cultivating emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. But when you depend solely on others to help you navigate difficulties, you weaken your ability to cope on your own. Emotional resilience is the ability to face adversity with grace, to adapt to change, and to find strength in the midst of uncertainty. It comes from trusting your capacity to overcome obstacles, no matter how daunting they may seem. Financial independence is another important component of self-sufficiency. When you rely on others for financial support, you limit your freedom to make choices and live on your own terms. By taking control of your financial well-being, you create opportunities for yourself and gain the confidence that comes with knowing you can stand on your own 2 feet. This doesn't mean you have to achieve wealth overnight. It means taking intentional steps toward managing your resources wisely and building a life that aligns with your values. At its core, self-sufficiency is about empowerment. It is about recognizing that you are enough, that you have within you everything you need to create a life of meaning and purpose. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of dependency and reclaiming your autonomy. This liberation is not only a gift to yourself but also to others. When you are self-sufficient, you can engage in relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. You can give without expecting in return and love without fear of loss because you are not dependent on others to complete you. The path to self-sufficiency is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It requires courage to face your fears, determination to build your strengths, and faith in your ability to create a fulfilling life. But as you take each step, you will feel a profound sense of freedom. You will no longer be bound by the actions or opinions of others. You will no longer fear being alone, because you will know that you are never truly alone. You have yourself. And that is enough. In this state of liberation, you will discover a truth that transforms your life. Fulfillment is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you create within. By cultivating self-sufficiency, you unlock the power to live with purpose, peace, and unshakable confidence. And that, above all else, is true freedom. Rejection often feels like a sharp and painful blow to the heart. It stirs feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and sometimes even despair. But what if rejection is not an end but a profound redirection? What if it is life's way of guiding you toward a higher purpose, one that you could not have reached if the door you were clinging to had not closed? To see rejection as redirection is to shift your perspective, recognizing that what feels like loss is often the seed of transformation. When people leave your life, it can feel like a betrayal or a failure. We naturally form attachments, seeking comfort and stability in relationships. However, not all connections are meant to last forever. Some people enter your life for a season, playing a role in your growth before their part in your story concludes. Their departure, while painful, creates space for new opportunities, lessons, and relationships that align more closely with your journey. Life operates in ways that often defy immediate understanding. In the moment, it is hard to see the larger picture or the reasons behind certain events. But with time and reflection, patterns emerge, revealing how rejection or loss was a necessary part of your evolution. Perhaps a breakup led you to discover your own strength and independence. Maybe being passed over for a job opened the door to an opportunity that was far more fulfilling. What appears as rejection is often a nudge, or sometimes a shove in a direction that better serves your growth and potential. Rejection also teaches resilience. Each time you face the pain of being turned away or let go, you have the choice to rise stronger. It is an opportunity to reaffirm your self-worth independent of others' opinions or decisions. Instead of seeing rejection as a reflection of your inadequacy, view it as a sign that something better awaits you. The process of overcoming rejection builds character, teaching you patience, perseverance, and trust in the unfolding of life. Transformation often begins in the shadow of loss. When familiar structures or relationships crumble, you are forced to confront yourself in a way that comfort and stability never demanded. You are invited to explore who you are without the roles, titles, or connections that once defined you. This exploration can be uncomfortable, even frightening, but it is also liberating. It is in these moments of uncertainty that you discover new facets of yourself, strengths, passions, and dreams that were hidden beneath the surface. The pain of rejection also encourages introspection. It prompts you to ask meaningful questions. Was this person, job, or situation truly aligned with who I am and what I want? What can I learn from this experience? How can I grow and move forward? These questions lead to deeper self-awareness, helping you make choices that are more authentic and intentional. In this way, rejection becomes a teacher, guiding you to greater clarity about your values and goals. Rejection often protects you from paths that are not meant for you. It may close doors to relationships or opportunities that, had they continued, might have caused more harm than good. While it's difficult to accept this truth in the moment, hindsight often reveals how rejection saved you from settling for less than you deserve. Trusting this process requires faith in life's wisdom and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. When you embrace rejection as redirection, you also learn to let go of resistance. Clinging to people or situations that are trying to leave your life only prolongs your pain. Instead, release them with gratitude for the role they played in your journey. This act of letting go is not a sign of weakness but of courage and wisdom. It shows that you trust life to guide you towards something greater. The transformation that follows rejection is not immediate. It requires patience and an open heart. There will be moments of doubt, sadness, and longing, but these emotions are part of the healing process. As you move through them, you begin to notice the gifts hidden within the experience. You may find new opportunities, meet people who inspire and uplift you, or uncover a deeper sense of purpose. Each step forward reinforces the truth that rejection is not the end, it is a beginning. Rejection, then, is a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. It forces you to step out of your comfort zone, confront your fears, and embrace change. It challenges you to redefine what success, love, and fulfillment mean to you. And most importantly, it redirects you toward paths that are in alignment with your highest potential. When you look back on moments of rejection, you may realize that they were some of the most pivotal points in your life. They pushed you to grow, to evolve, and to become more fully yourself. What initially felt like loss transformed into gain, and what seemed like an ending became a new beginning. In embracing rejection as redirection, you cultivate a profound trust in life's process. You learn to see challenges as opportunities, losses as lessons, and endings as doorways to new beginnings. This perspective empowers you to move forward with courage and hope, knowing that even in the face of rejection, life is always working for your highest good. In a world that is constantly moving, filled with noise, distractions, and the demands of daily life, solitude can often be misunderstood. Many view solitude as a form of punishment, a state to be avoided at all costs. The idea of being alone can bring discomfort, fear, or even anxiety. We've been conditioned to believe that being surrounded by people, engaging in constant activity, or staying busy is a measure of success or happiness. Yet the truth is, solitude is not a punishment, it is a sacred gift, a space where you can reconnect with your true essence, find clarity, and rediscover the peace and strength that lies within. When you embrace solitude, you step away from the external chaos that often clouds your mind and your emotions. In silence, you can hear your own thoughts, your own heart. Without the interference of others' opinions or the noise of the world, you can tune in to what is truly important to you. Solitude provides a rare opportunity for introspection. It allows you to sift through your emotions, your desires, and your dreams. Without the pressure to conform to societal expectations or please others, you are free to be yourself, to truly understand who you are, what you want, and where you're going. You can shed the roles you play for others, the friend, the colleague, the partner, the parent, and return to your most authentic self. It's in these quiet moments that you can strip away the layers of external influence that often mask your true nature. You begin to rediscover the dreams, passions, and values that may have been overshadowed by the demands of everyday life. Solitude allows you to connect with your inner wisdom, the part of you that knows what is best for your journey, your growth, and your happiness. Solitude is also a powerful tool for healing. In a world that encourages constant activity and distraction, it can be easy to ignore emotional wounds or unresolved issues. But in the stillness of solitude, you can face these challenges without the pressure of external distractions. It's a space where you can reflect, process, and release the emotional baggage that you may have been carrying. Solitude gives you the space to let go of the past, to forgive yourself and others, and to make peace with your experiences. It provides the necessary time to heal, rebuild, and restore your energy and emotional well-being. The fear of being alone often stems from a deep-rooted belief that solitude equals loneliness. However, loneliness is not the same as solitude. Loneliness arises when we feel disconnected from others and from ourselves, while solitude is the conscious choice to be alone in order to reconnect with our inner self. Loneliness is the absence of connection, but solitude is the presence of self-awareness. When you learn to be at peace with your own company, you stop fearing solitude. Instead of seeking external validation or the presence of others to feel complete, you find wholeness within. In this way, solitude becomes a source of strength rather than something to fear. You also learn to trust yourself. The constant noise and distractions of daily life can often drown out your own voice, leaving you unsure of your decisions and your direction. But when you are alone, you are forced to rely on your own judgment, to trust your own intuition, and to make decisions based on your true desires, rather than on the expectations or opinions of others. Solitude gives you the clarity and confidence to follow your own path, unapologetically and without hesitation. Many people fear that they will miss out on life if they spend time alone. They worry that solitude will cause them to become disconnected from the world, but the opposite is true. Solitude enhances your connection to the world by first deepening your connection to yourself. When you are centered and at peace within, you bring a higher level of awareness and presence to your interactions with others. You are no longer seeking fulfillment from external sources, but rather from your own wellspring of peace, love, and understanding. This inner peace radiates outward, enhancing your relationships and your ability to engage with the world in a meaningful way. Solitude offers the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. It is in these quiet moments that you can explore new ideas, develop new passions, and cultivate your creativity. When you are not constantly distracted by the demands of others or the noise of the world, you give your mind the space to innovate, reflect, and expand. It is in solitude that you can listen to the quiet whispers of your soul, the ones that often get drowned out by the chaos of daily life. These whispers guide you toward your higher purpose, your truest self. It also teaches you self-discipline and patience. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, the stillness of solitude requires a certain level of patience and acceptance. It teaches you to be comfortable with the ebb and flow of life, to trust that everything will unfold in its own time. In solitude, you cultivate the ability to be present with yourself, to sit with your thoughts, to allow your emotions to rise and fall without judgment, and to embrace the moments of stillness rather than seeking constant action. It is a sacred practice, a gift that allows you to reconnect with your true essence. It is a space where you can find clarity, healing, and strength. It is a time to rediscover your passions, to nurture your creativity, and to listen to the wisdom that resides within you. By embracing solitude, you come to realize that you are never truly alone, for you carry the entirety of your being within you, and that in itself is a source of limitless peace and power. Surviving alone is often thought of as a matter of physical endurance, how long you can last without help, how well you can provide for yourself, and how capable you are of managing your immediate needs. However, true survival, especially in moments of solitude, is far less about physical strength and much more about mental resilience. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It shapes your experiences, your perception of reality, and ultimately your ability to thrive. If you want to survive and flourish in solitude, you must first master your mind. In times of challenge, your mind can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It can either empower you to overcome obstacles, or it can fill you with doubt, fear, and negativity. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle often lies in their ability to control their thoughts and emotions. The key is to recognize that your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly focus on what you lack, on the things that are missing from your life, your mind will align with scarcity. But if you train your mind to focus on abundance, on the endless possibilities and resources available to you, you will open the door to growth and success. Abundance is not just about material wealth or external circumstances, it is a mindset. It is the belief that no matter what your external circumstances may be, you are always capable of creating more. When you focus on abundance, you are aligning your thoughts with the idea that there is more than enough for you to succeed and prosper. This mindset shifts your energy from fear and limitation to possibility and opportunity. You begin to see that everything you need is already within you, and the universe is constantly presenting you with ways to grow, evolve, and thrive. On the other hand, focusing on lack keeps you trapped in a cycle of scarcity. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you don't have enough, whether that's money, love, support, or resources. This mindset clouds your vision and limits your potential. The more you dwell on what's missing, the more you attract experiences that reinforce that feeling of lack. You begin to believe that survival depends on external factors, on people or circumstances that are beyond your control. But the truth is that true survival is rooted in mental resilience, in your ability to focus your mind on what is possible rather than what is not. One of the first steps in mastering your mind is learning to control your thoughts. This means recognizing when negative or limiting thoughts arise and actively choosing to replace them with positive, empowering ones. It's easy to let your mind spiral into fear, worry, and self-doubt. But with practice, you can train your mind to let go of these destructive patterns and replace them with thoughts that support your growth. When you catch yourself thinking about what you don't have, pause and shift your focus to what you do have. Instead of thinking, "I don't have enough time," tell yourself, "I have all the time I need to accomplish my goals." This simple shift in perspective helps you to step into a mindset of abundance. The key aspect of mastering your mind is learning to manage your emotions. Emotions are powerful, and they can either fuel your growth or hinder it. When you allow your emotions to control you, you become a victim of circumstance, reacting to everything around you instead of proactively shaping your own experience. However, when you take control of your emotional responses, you begin to operate from a place of power. You can choose how to respond to any situation, whether it's one of joy, frustration, sadness, or fear. Instead of letting emotions dictate your actions, you can use them as signals to guide your decisions and refine your mindset. For example, if you feel fear, use it as an opportunity to examine what you're afraid of and challenge that fear. If you feel frustration, take a step back and ask yourself what's within your control and what's not. By taking responsibility for your emotional state, you regain control of your mind and your life. Another powerful tool in mastering your mind is meditation. Meditation allows you to quiet the noise of the world and your own thoughts, creating space for clarity and peace. It teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment and to create mental stillness. In this stillness, you can connect to your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your deepest desires. It's in these moments of quiet reflection that you gain the clarity to make decisions aligned with your true purpose. The more you practice meditation, the more you cultivate mental resilience. You learn to detach from the constant chatter of the mind and to focus on the present moment. In this space, you are free from the worries of the past and the fears of the future. You become fully engaged in the present, and from this place of centeredness, you can approach life with greater calm and confidence. A final aspect of mastering your mind is cultivating gratitude. When you focus on what you are grateful for, You begin to attract more of the things that bring you joy, abundance, and peace. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present, reminding you that you already have everything you need to succeed. By incorporating a daily gratitude practice into your life, you retrain your mind to focus on the positive, which in turn helps you to maintain a mindset of abundance, no matter what challenges you face. Mastering your mind is a journey, not a destination. It takes consistent effort, practice, and patience. But when you make the decision to train your mind to focus on abundance and not lack, you unlock a powerful force within you. You realize that survival, thriving, and fulfillment are not dependent on external circumstances, but on your ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. In this space of mental resilience, you become the creator of your own reality, capable of overcoming any obstacle and achieving any goal. In conclusion, mastering your mind is the key to thriving in solitude and surviving life's challenges. It is not physical strength, but the resilience of your thoughts and emotions that ultimately determines your success. By focusing on abundance instead of lack, training your mind to cultivate positive thoughts, managing your emotions with wisdom, and practicing gratitude, you create a foundation of inner strength that allows you to navigate life with confidence and peace. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool, and when you harness it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Thank you for your attention and for allowing me the opportunity to share these thoughts with you. May you continue to grow, evolve, and master your mind, creating a life rooted in abundance, peace, and inner strength.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about power, not the kind that comes from titles or possessions, but the kind that lives within you. Real power is quiet, intentional, and unwavering. It's the ability to know what to share and what to hold back. And today we're talking about 5 things every woman must keep private from men. Not every man who listens deserves your trust. Your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, these are not weaknesses, they are your humanity. Share them only with those who have proven they will honor and protect them. Some battles are meant to be fought in the quiet corners of your soul. Dream big, but dream for yourself. Before you tell anyone your goals, ask yourself, will they support this vision, or will they shrink it? A seed grows in silence, not under scrutiny. When your aspirations are fully formed, then, and only then, can you decide who deserves to know. The struggles you faced are not open invitations for judgment or pity. They are the chapters of a book only you hold the rights to publish. You decide how much of that story is shared, and more importantly, how it's framed. Remember, your scars are your strength, not someone else's ammunition. Money isn't just about wealth, it's about freedom. Your financial decisions are a reflection of your independence. Keep them guarded, not as a secret, but as a strategy. A man who values you will respect your boundaries and your moves, even if he doesn't know every detail. Ladies, the element of surprise is powerful. Don't lay all your cards on the table. Your plans, your next big move, these are yours to shape without outside interference. Reveal them only when they're ready to shine, not when they're still fragile ideas. In this life, you are the architect of your destiny. Choose carefully what you build and who you invite into your design. The world doesn't need to know every piece of you to admire your strength. Stay poised, stay grounded, and always, always stay true to yourself. There are certain parts of your heart and mind that are sacred places no one should trespass unless they have earned the right. Vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, they are the essence of your humanity, the raw and unpolished truth of who you are. But not everyone deserves to hold this truth. In a world that often mistakes openness for trust, it's crucial to remember that not every listener is a confidant, and not every inquiry is born from care. When you reveal your deepest fears or insecurities to someone who has not proven their loyalty, you risk exposing yourself to judgment, misunderstanding, or even exploitation. Vulnerability is a gift, not a free-for-all. It is the foundation of authentic connection, but it must be offered with discernment. Sharing too quickly or with the wrong person can leave you feeling drained, unheard, or even betrayed. Not everyone has the emotional capacity to hold your truths gently, and that's okay, it's not their role. It's your role to protect what matters most. Keeping certain vulnerabilities private doesn't mean you're hiding who you are or being dishonest. It means you value yourself enough to ensure that your story is held by those who will cherish it, not distort it. Think of your vulnerabilities as the most delicate part of your soul. You wouldn't hand a fragile heirloom to someone who doesn't know how to handle it with care. In the same way, the tender parts of your being deserve to be shielded until you are certain they will be received with respect and compassion. The act of safeguarding your vulnerabilities also reinforces your inner strength. When you maintain control over what you share, you retain power over your narrative. You become the gatekeeper of your emotions, deciding who enters and who stays out. This is not about building walls to keep people away, but about creating boundaries that protect your well-being. Boundaries are not barriers, they are the framework within which healthy relationships can flourish. There's an undeniable strength in selective vulnerability. When you choose to reveal your struggles or fears, it should be to someone who has proven their ability to support you without judgment. Someone who doesn't see your pain as a flaw, but as a part of your journey. These individuals are rare and precious, and they often come into your life only after you've cultivated the discernment to recognize them. Until then, it's okay to keep certain parts of yourself private. It's also worth remembering that not every moment of vulnerability needs to be shared with another person. Sometimes the best confidant is yourself. Journaling, meditating, or simply sitting with your thoughts can help you process your emotions without needing external validation. In doing so, you not only preserve your sacred spaces, but also build a deeper relationship with yourself. You learn to trust your own judgment, to comfort yourself in times of need, and to recognize your worth independent of others' opinions. When you keep your vulnerability sacred, you are not isolating yourself, you are empowering yourself. You're ensuring that the essence of who you are is not diluted by unnecessary exposure. This isn't about mistrust or fear, it's about honoring your journey. Every scar, every fear, every doubt is a testament to your resilience. It's a reminder that you've survived, that you've learned, and that you're still standing. Not everyone deserves to know the battles you fought or the wounds you've healed. Those stories are yours to share, not theirs to demand. So, take your time. Learn to observe before you reveal. Trust is not built overnight, and it's not something to give away lightly. When you do choose to open up, make sure it's to someone who has proven their ability to listen without judgment and to support without conditions. Until then, hold your vulnerabilities close. They are not for everyone to see, because they are a testament to your strength, your humanity, and your journey. And those things are sacred. Your aspirations are the seeds of your future, delicate and full of potential. They begin as quiet whispers in your heart, ideas that ignite a spark of excitement and hope. These dreams are yours first and foremost, belonging to no one but you. Their power lies in their connection to your innermost desires, to the parts of you that see beyond the present and dare to imagine something greater. But like all precious things, they need protection. Not everyone will understand your vision, and not everyone is meant to. When a dream is in its infancy, it is vulnerable. It's still finding its form, still solidifying into something real. This is the stage where it needs nurturing, not scrutiny. Sharing your aspirations too soon can expose them to criticism, doubt, and negativity. Even well-meaning people might unintentionally diminish your dream by projecting their fears onto it. They may question its practicality, point out potential challenges, or suggest alternative paths that align with their vision, not yours. While feedback can be valuable, it must come from those who genuinely support you and believe in your potential. Dreams grow stronger in silence because they have the space to take root without interference. When you keep your aspirations private, you give yourself time to explore them fully, to understand what they mean to you and how they align with your values. This silence is not about secrecy or mistrust. It's about creating a safe space for your vision to flourish. It allows you to focus on the joy and excitement of your dream without the noise of external opinions. There's a profound power in holding something sacred within yourself. When you resist the urge to share prematurely, you cultivate a sense of ownership and responsibility over your aspirations. They become a part of you, something you carry with pride and determination. This quiet confidence fuels your actions, guiding you toward your goals without the need for validation from others. It's a reminder that your dreams don't need to be understood by everyone, they only need to be understood by you. As your dream begins to take shape, you'll naturally start to identify the people who can help nurture it. These are the ones who listen without judgment, who encourage you without imposing their own agenda. They are the ones who see your potential and believe in your ability to achieve it. Sharing your aspirations with such individuals can be a source of motivation and inspiration, but even then, it's important to be selective. Not every aspect of your vision needs to be disclosed, and not every milestone requires an audience. The most meaningful progress often happens behind the scenes. It's also worth recognizing that some people may react negatively to your aspirations because of their own limitations or insecurities. They might feel threatened by your ambition or compare it to their own unfulfilled dreams. Their reactions have more to do with them than with you. This is why discernment is essential. Share your vision only with those who uplift you, not with those who might unintentionally or intentionally diminish your light. Keeping your aspirations close allows you to develop resilience. When you're not seeking constant approval or reassurance, you learn to trust yourself. You build the strength to move forward, even when doubts arise or obstacles appear. This inner strength is crucial, because every dream comes with its challenges. The path to achieving your aspirations is rarely linear, and there will be moments when you question yourself. In those times, the quiet foundation you've built becomes your anchor, reminding you why you started and why it matters. Your aspirations are a reflection of your unique journey and purpose. They are the compass guiding you toward a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. By keeping them private in their early stages, you honor their significance and give them the chance to grow into something extraordinary. When the time comes to share, you'll do so not out of a need for validation, but from a place of confidence and clarity. Your dreams are yours first. They belong to the part of you that dares to hope and believe. Protect them, nurture them, and allow them to grow in the silence of your heart. When they are ready to bloom, the world will see their beauty, but only because you took the time to let them thrive in private. The pain you've endured is part of your story, a testament to your resilience and growth. It holds lessons that have shaped you, moments that tested your resolve and forged your strength. But it is not a badge to wear for recognition or sympathy. Pain, while powerful, should never define you. Instead, it is a chapter in your journey, one that teaches you and prepares you for what lies ahead. Holding on to it as an identity or sharing it indiscriminately can leave you vulnerable to judgment, misunderstanding, or even manipulation. Pain has a way of transforming us, revealing depths of courage we didn't know we possessed. It strips away illusions and forces us to confront the truth of who we are. In those moments, we discover our capacity to endure, to heal, and to rise. This strength is deeply personal and sacred. It's not something to be flaunted or offered up to anyone who asks. Sharing your pain can create connections, but only if it's with those who respect its significance and honor the growth it represents. When you openly display your past pain, especially to those who haven't earned your trust, you risk it being used against you. Some may view your struggles as weaknesses, exploiting them to gain control or diminish your worth. Others might misinterpret your experiences, turning your journey into a narrative that suits their perspective rather than honoring your truth. This is why it's vital to be selective about what you share and with whom. Your pain is not a weapon to wield or a shield to hide behind. It's a lesson to carry quietly, guiding your actions and decisions. There's a fine line between acknowledging your pain and allowing it to define you. When you let past hurts become a badge, you risk living in the shadow of what has happened, rather than stepping into the light of what can be. Carrying pain as a badge often means seeking validation through it, allowing it to become a part of your identity that others see first. But you are so much more than what you've endured. Your essence, your dreams, and your potential are not confined by your scars, they are illuminated by your resilience. It's important to process your pain, to sit with it, understand it, and learn from it. This process allows you to extract its lessons without letting it overshadow your life. Pain teaches us empathy, patience, and strength. It can make us more compassionate and understanding, but only if we approach it with the intent to grow. Clinging to it or using it as a constant point of reference can stunt this growth, keeping you tethered to moments that were meant to teach you and then release you. Your past pain should serve as a guide, not a residence. It can inform your choices, helping you recognize patterns and avoid pitfalls, but it should never dictate your future. By holding on to the lessons while releasing the emotional weight, you create space for new experiences and opportunities. This balance allows you to honor your journey without being consumed by it. When you meet someone new, whether in friendship or love, it's natural to want to share parts of your story. But be mindful of how much you reveal and why. Sharing your pain with the wrong person can lead to exploitation or misunderstanding, while sharing it with someone who truly values you can deepen trust and connection. Take your time to discern who deserves to hear your story. The right people will see your strength, not your wounds. Your past pain is a chapter, not the whole book. It's a part of what makes you who you are, but it's not the entirety of your identity. Don't allow anyone to reduce you to your struggles or to use them as a means to control you. Your pain is your own, a private reminder of what you've overcome and the strength you've built. It's a quiet power, a lesson that lives within you and propels you forward. You are not your pain. You are the strength that emerged from it, the wisdom it imparted, and the hope it couldn't extinguish. Hold your past pain as a lesson, not a badge. Let it shape you but not confine you. The world doesn't need to know every battle you fought, it only needs to see the light in your eyes that says, I've endured, and I am still here. Financial independence is more than just the ability to pay your bills, it's the foundation of your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to shape your own future. Money represents more than material wealth, it's a tool for security, choice, and self-expression. When you have control over your finances, you gain the power to decide how you live your life. This independence, however, is not something to be taken lightly or casually shared with others, particularly when it comes to relationships. Your financial moves are your business, and how you manage your money should remain a personal and strategic affair. There is strength in keeping your financial matters private and your actions deliberate. Not every decision you make, every goal you set, or every step you take toward financial growth needs to be disclosed to others. The more you share about your financial situation, the more you open the door to judgment, unsolicited opinions, or even undue expectations from those around you. Financial independence is deeply personal. It allows you to make choices that align with your values, ambitions, and priorities without being beholden to someone else's approval. When you share too much about your financial situation, particularly with men or in romantic relationships, you risk creating an imbalance. Money can easily become a source of conflict, a point of leverage, or a shared obligation that was never intended to be. By keeping your financial moves private, you maintain control over your resources and decisions, ensuring that your independence remains intact. Strategic financial management means thinking long-term and acting with purpose. It's about setting goals, saving diligently, and investing wisely. These are actions that speak louder than words, and their results will show over time. There's no need to announce your plans or seek validation from others. In fact, discussing your finances openly can sometimes attract the wrong kind of attention, whether it's envy, manipulation, or pressure to share what you've worked so hard to achieve. This doesn't mean you can't seek advice or guidance when needed. There's wisdom in consulting experts or trusted mentors about financial matters. But even then, it's important to approach these conversations with discernment, sharing only what's necessary and keeping the details of your overall strategy to yourself. Not everyone has your best interests at heart, and not everyone needs to know the intricacies of your financial life. When it comes to relationships, financial independence is especially crucial. It's easy for financial matters to become entangled in the dynamics of a partnership, leading to complications or even a loss of autonomy. By maintaining control over your finances and setting clear boundaries, you protect yourself from becoming financially dependent on someone else, or conversely, from feeling obligated to support someone else's financial needs. Sharing financial responsibilities in a relationship is natural and sometimes necessary, but it should be done with clear communication and mutual respect. Even in these cases, it's wise to retain a level of independence, ensuring that you always have access to your own resources and the ability to make decisions for yourself. This isn't about secrecy or mistrust, it's about safeguarding your autonomy and ensuring that you never feel trapped by financial circumstances. Your financial independence also serves as a powerful example to others, especially younger generations or those who look up to you. It shows that self-reliance is achievable and that money can be managed thoughtfully and strategically. It's a silent but impactful statement that you value yourself enough to take control of your financial future. Your financial moves are about more than just money, they're about empowerment. Every decision you make, every dollar you save or invest, is a step toward creating the life you want. These moves are not for show, they're for you. They represent your dedication to your goals, your ability to plan for the future, and your refusal to let anyone else dictate your worth or your choices. Financial independence is your power, and it grows stronger when it is managed with intention and privacy. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Build your wealth, protect your resources, and chart your path with confidence and discretion. By doing so, you ensure that your financial future remains in your hands, and that is a power no one can take from you. Self-worth is the cornerstone of your identity, the inner foundation upon which your confidence, decisions, and relationships are built. It is not something anyone else has the right to define, manipulate, or diminish. Your value is intrinsic, something that exists simply because you do. It's not earned through achievements, validated by others, or tied to external factors. It belongs to you, and it's non-negotiable. When you allow others to define your worth, you give them control over your sense of self. This opens the door to insecurity, self-doubt, and a constant need for validation. Your self-worth becomes dependent on the opinions, actions, or approval of others, leaving you vulnerable to their judgments and whims. But you were never meant to live like this. True self-worth comes from within, rooted in an unwavering belief in your own value, regardless of what the world around you says. Your worth is not determined by how others perceive you. It's not about being liked, accepted, or praised. These things may feel good in the moment, but they are fleeting and external. True worth is steady, grounded in an unshakable knowing that you are enough as you are. It's about recognizing your unique qualities, respecting your boundaries, and honoring the person you've become. It's about standing firm in your value, even when others fail to see it or try to challenge it. One of the greatest acts of self-love is refusing to let anyone dictate your worth. This means setting boundaries with people who diminish you, walking away from situations that compromise your integrity, and rejecting narratives that make you feel less than. It means choosing yourself over the need to fit in, to please, or to be everything to everyone. This is not selfish, it's essential. When you stand firm in your self-worth, you teach others how to treat you with respect, dignity, and appreciation. Your worth does not increase or decrease based on your mistakes or successes. It is constant, unchanging. Society often tries to tie self-worth to accomplishments, appearance, or status, creating the illusion that you must earn your value. But this is a lie. You are valuable simply because you exist. Your worth isn't something you prove, it's something you claim. No failure can take it away, and no victory can add to it. Understanding this frees you from the exhausting pursuit of perfection and allows you to live authentically. Cultivating self-worth requires inner work. It means silencing the critical voices, both external and internal, that tell you you're not good enough. It means unlearning the idea that your value depends on what you do or how you compare to others. Instead, it's about affirming your inherent worth daily, reminding yourself that you are deserving of love, respect, and opportunity just as you are. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. It's knowing your value and refusing to settle for less. In relationships, your self-worth sets the tone. When you value yourself, you attract people who value you too. You don't accept less than you deserve, and you don't compromise your needs for the sake of pleasing others. Instead, you build connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Relationships become healthier when both individuals enter them with a strong sense of their own worth, creating a dynamic where neither depends on the other for validation. Recognizing your worth also means recognizing that others cannot see it if they're not meant to. Not everyone will understand your value, and that's okay. Their inability to see your light doesn't dim it. It reflects their own limitations, not yours. You are not here to prove yourself to anyone. The people who matter will see your worth without you having to convince them. Self-worth is about owning who you are. It's about standing tall in your truth, embracing your strengths and flaws, and knowing that you are whole and complete. It's about rejecting the need to shrink, to conform, or to seek approval. No one can take away your value unless you let them, and no one can define it but you. You are the keeper of your worth, and it is non-negotiable. Protect it fiercely, nurture it daily, and never let anyone make you question it. Your value is infinite, your presence is purposeful, and your worth is undeniable. Trust in that, and live your life as the empowered, confident person you were always meant to be. The power of your next step lies in its secrecy. It is your hidden strength, your untapped advantage, and the element of surprise that keeps you ahead in life. Your plans, when concealed, are protected from the scrutiny, interference, and opinions of others. They remain yours to shape, refine, and execute without external distractions or pressures. This is not about secrecy for its own sake, it's about safeguarding your vision until it is strong enough to withstand the world. When you share your plans prematurely, you open them up to potential criticism or negativity. Even well-meaning individuals can unknowingly dampen your enthusiasm or plant seeds of doubt. The weight of their opinions can make you second-guess yourself, stall your progress, or even abandon your plans altogether. Keeping your next step private ensures that your vision remains untainted by outside voices. It gives you the freedom to dream boldly and act decisively without fear of judgment. Secrecy also prevents interference. Not everyone who hears your plans has your best interests at heart. Some might undermine your efforts, either out of jealousy, competition, or a simple misunderstanding of your goals. By keeping your next move to yourself, you eliminate the risk of sabotage, whether intentional or accidental. Your plans remain in your control, free from outside manipulation. There is immense strength in moving quietly. When your actions speak louder than your words, you build credibility and respect. Results are undeniable, while promises and plans can be questioned or dismissed. Letting your accomplishments announce themselves not only surprises others, but also shields you from the pressure of living up to premature expectations. People will see what you've achieved, not what you've intended, and that carries far greater weight. Keeping your plans private also gives you room to adapt and evolve. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes adjustments are necessary. If you've announced your plans to the world, you might feel obligated to stick to them, even when circumstances change. This rigidity can hinder your success. But when your plans remain your own, you have the flexibility to pivot, experiment, and refine your approach as needed. Privacy gives you the space to learn, grow, and perfect your strategy without the fear of failure being public. Furthermore, the element of surprise is a powerful tool. When people are unaware of your next move, they cannot prepare for it or counteract it. Your actions catch them off guard, and your success becomes more impactful because it is unexpected. This advantage can be especially useful in competitive environments, where revealing your strategy too early can give others the opportunity to replicate or obstruct it. This approach requires discipline. The urge to share your plans, especially when you're excited or seeking validation, can be strong. But restraint is key. Remember, not everyone needs to know your next step. And the fewer people who do, the stronger your position. Share only with those you trust implicitly, those who will support, encourage, and respect your need for privacy. Keeping your plans private does not mean isolating yourself. Seek guidance from mentors, collaborate with trusted allies, and gather the resources you need. The key is discretion, sharing only what is necessary with those who can genuinely help, while withholding the full picture until the time is right. This balance ensures that you're not navigating alone while still maintaining control over your vision. When the time comes to execute your plans, let your actions speak for themselves. The world will take notice of your results, not your promises. Your success will carry an authenticity and power that words alone could never convey. And because your plans were protected until they were ready, they will stand strong against criticism or opposition. Your next step is more than a plan, it is your secret weapon. It is the culmination of your dreams, efforts, and vision, shielded from the distractions of the outside world until it is ready to shine. Guard it fiercely, nurture it quietly, and execute it boldly. Let your success surprise everyone, and let your silence, until then, be your greatest strength. In life, there is great power in discretion. Protecting your vulnerabilities, aspirations, lessons from past pain, financial independence, self-worth, and future plans is not about withholding yourself from the world, but about preserving what makes you strong, unique, and resilient. These aspects of your life are sacred, deserving of your respect and careful stewardship. When you honor them with privacy and intention, you create a space where your confidence can grow, your dreams can flourish, and your actions can speak louder than any words. Not everything is meant to be shared, and not everyone is meant to understand. Your strength lies in knowing what to reveal and what to keep close. Walk boldly, nurture your worth, and let your success speak for itself. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a truth. When someone walks back into your life, it's not just a moment, it's a test. And how you respond, how you carry yourself, will determine the respect you gain or lose in that moment. When he contacts you, whether it's a text, a call, or an unexpected "hey, been thinking about you," don't rush to respond. Don't jump at the sound of his name like you've been waiting by the phone. Instead, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what does this moment mean for me? The biggest mistake you can make is letting your emotions take the wheel. If you react impulsively, you risk giving away your power. And let me tell you, the moment you give someone your power, they will take it every single time. You see, there's a version of you he remembers, a version that might have settled, that might have been too available. But this version of you, this new you, she knows her worth. And worth doesn't chase, it attracts. Worth doesn't explain, it shows. Now let's talk about silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. When he reaches out, resist the urge to over-explain yourself, your choices, or your feelings. Trust me, if he's reaching out, he already knows what he lost. You don't need to remind him. But here's the real heart of it. When someone who left your life tries to come back, they're not just checking on you, they're checking the boundaries you've set. Don't make the mistake of lowering those boundaries because of nostalgia or loneliness. Let your standards speak for you. You've worked too hard to heal, to grow, to become the person you are today. So don't let a single message or phone call undo the progress you've made. If he's coming back, he needs to meet you at the level you've risen to, not drag you back to the level you left behind. Confidence is your best ally. When he contacts you, don't chase, don't beg, and don't settle. Walk with the strength of someone who knows they are enough, because you are. Let him see that if he wants to stay in your life, it's going to take more than just words. So I leave you with this: protect your peace. Guard your heart. And when someone reaches out, don't make the mistake of forgetting the power you hold. Because in the end, how you respond says more about you than it ever will about him. When life presents you with unexpected situations, especially moments charged with emotional weight, your initial reaction sets the tone for everything that follows. Whether it's a call from someone who once hurt you, a chance encounter with a figure from your past, or even a difficult conversation with a loved one, the way you respond in that first moment is critical. It's not just about what you say or do, it's about the energy you bring into that interaction. And that's where staying grounded becomes essential. You see, emotions are powerful. They are the raw, unfiltered language of the heart, and they can elevate us to incredible heights or drag us down into chaos. When faced with a situation that stirs those emotions, especially when it's tied to someone who has a hold on your heart, it's easy to let those feelings dictate your actions. But here's the truth: reacting impulsively, out of anger, sadness, or even excitement, can lead to decisions you may regret later. Think of your emotions as a river. When they're flowing peacefully, they nourish and inspire. But when the current becomes too strong, it can sweep you away. Staying grounded is like anchoring yourself on solid ground, ensuring that no matter how wild the river gets, you remain steady and in control. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, it means understanding them, acknowledging them, and choosing not to let them run the show. Imagine this scenario: someone who once left you or wronged you suddenly reappears in your life. Your heart races, your mind floods with memories, and before you know it, you're on the verge of reacting, sending a long message, making a hasty phone call, or expressing emotions that haven't been fully processed. But ask yourself, what's the purpose of that reaction? Is it to prove something? To seek closure? To let them know how much they hurt you? In most cases, those impulsive responses aren't about resolution, they're about trying to regain control of a situation that once left you feeling powerless. The key is to pause. In that moment of emotional intensity, take a breath literally. Give yourself the space to process what you're feeling. When you pause, you create an opportunity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This pause is where your power lies. It's where you remind yourself that you are no longer the person who needs validation or explanation to feel whole. Staying grounded also means being present. Instead of letting your mind spiral into what-ifs or past pain, bring your focus to the here and now. Ask yourself, what do I truly want in this moment? And what outcome aligns with the person I've become? When you're grounded, you're able to see the situation for what it is, not through the lens of old wounds or unresolved emotions. One of the most empowering things you can do is separate your feelings from your actions. It's okay to feel hurt, betrayed, or even hopeful when someone contacts you. Those feelings are valid and deserve acknowledgement. But your actions, the words you choose, the tone you use, and the boundaries you set should come from a place of self-respect and clarity. When you act from this place, you're not just reacting to the situation, you're asserting the person you've worked so hard to become. The first reaction is often the most remembered. It's the one that leaves an impression, the one that defines how others perceive you in that moment. If you allow yourself to be swept away by emotion, you risk giving away your power. But if you respond with grace, calmness, and intention, you show the world and yourself that you are in control. Control doesn't mean being cold or unfeeling, it means choosing strength over chaos. It means recognizing that you don't have to meet every situation with the intensity it brings. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to remain calm in the face of the storm. That calmness is not a sign of indifference. It's a testament to your inner strength and self-assurance. Staying grounded in emotional moments is about honoring yourself. It's about protecting your peace and maintaining the dignity you've worked so hard to cultivate. So the next time you're faced with a situation that tugs at your emotions, remember this: you have the power to define the course. And that power begins with staying grounded. There is a quiet power in restraint, a strength in holding back when the world urges you to explain, justify, or prove yourself. Too often, We feel compelled to fill silences with words, to provide explanations for our choices, our boundaries, and even our presence. But here's the truth: your worth does not hinge on someone else's understanding of you. It is inherent, immutable, and does not need validation from anyone outside of yourself. When someone reaches out, whether it's an old friend, a past love, or even a colleague who once doubted you, there is a temptation to explain everything. You may feel the urge to recount your growth, justify the decisions that led you to where you are, or even defend why you no longer fit into the version of yourself they once knew. But stop for a moment and ask yourself, why do I feel the need to explain? Most of the time, that urge stems from a desire to be understood, to prove our worth, or to seek validation for the choices we've made. Here's the thing: true dignity doesn't demand explanations. Dignity is quiet. It's self-assured. It's knowing that your value remains constant, regardless of whether or not others see it. When you over-explain, you inadvertently place your worth in the hands of others, asking them to approve or acknowledge what should never be up for debate. Silence, on the other hand, speaks volumes. It communicates confidence, self-respect, and a refusal to engage in unnecessary justifications. When someone questions you, your choices, your boundaries, or even your absence, your silence can carry a weight that no words ever could. It tells them, without a single syllable, that you owe them nothing, that you stand firm in who you are without needing to prove it. Think of silence as a mirror. When you refuse to over-explain, you hold up a reflection for others to face. It forces them to sit with their own questions, their own assumptions, and their own role in the situation. Sometimes people reach out not because they genuinely seek understanding, but because they're uncomfortable with the distance or the boundaries you've set. By staying silent, you place the responsibility for that discomfort squarely where it belongs on them. This doesn't mean you should never communicate. There is a time and place for conversations, for expressing your feelings, and for clarifying misunderstandings. But communication is not the same as over-explaining. Over-explaining often stems from a place of insecurity, a belief that if you don't justify yourself, others will misjudge or misunderstand you. But here's the reality: no amount of explanation can change how someone chooses to perceive you. And those who truly respect you won't require an explanation in the first place. When you embrace the power of silence, you reclaim your energy. You conserve the emotional and mental resources that might otherwise be spent trying to craft the perfect defense or narrative. Instead, you redirect that energy inward, using it to strengthen your sense of self-worth and peace. This is not about being cold or dismissive. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and refusing to engage in dynamics that diminish you. Let's not forget the element of mystery. When you choose not to over-explain, you create space for others to wonder, to reflect, and to recognize your growth on their own. That space is powerful. It challenges people to see you as you are now, rather than trying to fit you into the mold of who you used to be. And in that space, you give yourself the freedom to continue evolving without being tethered to others' expectations. Dignity is about knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. It's about recognizing that your worth is not a debate, a negotiation, or a question that needs an answer. When you let your silence carry the weight of your dignity, you stand in a quiet, unshakable power. You remind the world and yourself that you are enough, just as you are, and that is more than sufficient. In every interaction, you are given an opportunity to define who you are and what you stand for. When someone reaches out to you, especially if it's someone whose past actions may have tested your boundaries, you must approach the moment with clarity and resolve. This is your chance to articulate, perhaps without words, the standards you hold for yourself and the relationships you allow in your life. Clarity is power. When you know what you stand for, you move through the world with a sense of purpose and self-assurance. Your standards reflect your values, your self-respect, and the lessons you've learned along the way. They are not arbitrary rules or unrealistic expectations. They are the foundation of a life lived with integrity. And yet, in moments of vulnerability or nostalgia, it can be tempting to compromise those standards for the sake of connection, understanding, or even closure. But compromising on what you believe in comes at a cost, one that often leaves you feeling diminished or disrespected. To be clear about your standards, you must first be deeply in tune with yourself. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your non-negotiables in relationships? What behaviors are unacceptable, no matter the circumstances? What do you deserve and what will you never tolerate again? Answering these questions honestly will provide you with the framework for setting boundaries that are firm yet fair. When someone contacts you, especially someone from your past, they are stepping into a new version of you. They may approach you with expectations rooted in who you used to be, not realizing that you've grown and evolved. This is your moment to show them that you are no longer willing to bend to meet old dynamics. You're not the same person they once knew, and your standards now reflect the strength and self-awareness you've cultivated. Being clear about your standards doesn't require you to explain them in detail. In fact, your actions often speak louder than any explanation ever could. How you respond or choose not to respond sets the tone. For instance, if someone tries to re-enter your life but offers only vague apologies or half-hearted efforts, your response can communicate volumes. By holding firm to your boundaries, you show that you value sincerity, effort, and mutual respect. There may be moments when standing by your standards feels difficult. Perhaps the other person tries to appeal to your emotions or uses charm to bypass the boundaries you've set. In these moments, it's crucial to remind yourself of why those standards exist in the first place. They are there to protect your peace, your dignity, and your well-being. Lowering them for temporary comfort or out of fear of losing someone will only lead to regret. It's important to recognize that being clear about your standards is not about being rigid or inflexible. It's about having a strong sense of self-worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Clarity doesn't mean shutting people out, it means inviting only those who align with your values into your life. It's about creating a space where respect, honesty, and growth can thrive. When you uphold your standards, you send a powerful message, not just to others, but to yourself. You affirm that you are worthy of love and respect, and you set the expectation for how others should treat you. You also teach others how to approach you, not by demanding their compliance, but by demonstrating through your actions that you are serious about your boundaries. Your standards are a reflection of your self-love. They are not a wall to keep people out, but a guide for bringing the right people in. By being clear about what you stand for, you ensure that every interaction, every relationship, and every decision you make is aligned with the person you've worked so hard to become. Don't compromise. Stand firm in your truth and watch as the world begins to respect and reflect the strength within you. Growth is a deliberate choice, one that often comes with discomfort and the temptation to retreat into familiar patterns. Old habits, even those that once hurt you or held you back, can feel deceptively safe because they're known, predictable, and easy to slip into. But true growth demands more. It requires you to resist the gravitational pull of your past and step boldly into a new version of yourself, even when it feels unfamiliar or challenging. When someone contacts you, especially someone tied to a part of your life you've worked hard to move beyond, the opportunity to fall back into old patterns is at its peak. Perhaps it's the way they talk, the memories they evoke, or the emotional attachment you still feel. These triggers can be powerful, drawing you toward behaviors you thought you'd outgrown. But growth is not just about leaving the past behind, it's about proving to yourself time and time again that you are capable of more, that you deserve better, and that you are no longer defined by who you used to be. It's important to recognize the allure of old patterns for what it is: a desire for comfort and familiarity. Humans are creatures of habit, and our minds often default to what feels safe, even if that safety is an illusion. But just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's right for you. Growth happens when you step outside that comfort zone and choose a path that aligns with the person you're becoming, not the person you were. One of the first steps in avoiding old patterns is awareness. Pay attention to your triggers, the words, actions, or situations that make you want to revert to old habits. Once you identify these triggers, you can approach them with intention rather than reaction. For instance, if someone's words stir up feelings of self-doubt, pause before responding. Remind yourself of the strength you've built and the lessons you've learned. By recognizing the pull of old patterns, you gain the power to resist them. Another key aspect is setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. Boundaries are a declaration of what you will and will not tolerate, and they serve as a shield against behaviors or relationships that no longer serve you. When you feel the urge to fall back into an old dynamic, remind yourself of the boundaries you've established. Ask yourself, does this align with the life I'm building? If the answer is no, hold the line, even when it's hard. Growth also requires a willingness to sit with discomfort. Choosing better often feels unfamiliar and awkward at first, because it challenges the deeply ingrained habits of the past. For example, saying no when you're used to saying yes can feel uncomfortable. Standing firm in your boundaries when someone pushes against them can feel isolating. But these moments of discomfort are where real growth happens. They are proof that you're breaking free from the patterns that once held you back. It's equally important to replace old patterns with new, healthier ones. Growth isn't just about saying no to the past, it's about saying yes to a better future. Create habits that reflect the life you want to live and the person you want to be. Whether it's practicing self-care, surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, or pursuing goals that align with your values, these new patterns will gradually become your default. That growth is a process, not a destination. You may stumble along the way, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, learning from each step, and refusing to let setbacks define you. Every time you resist the pull of old patterns, you reinforce your strength and commitment to a better version of yourself. Growth is about choosing yourself. It's about honoring the work you've done, the lessons you've learned, and the potential you hold. Don't let the comfort of old patterns rob you of the life you're capable of creating. You are no longer the person who settled for less, who accepted mistreatment, or who doubted their own worth. Embrace the discomfort of growth, and trust that the new patterns you're building will lead you to a life far greater than anything the past could ever offer. Confidence is a quiet strength, a steady force that speaks volumes without the need for excessive words or actions. It doesn't beg for attention or validation, it simply is. When someone contacts you, especially in moments where emotions might run high or stakes feel significant, staying confident and composed is your most powerful response. It shows that you know your worth, value your peace, and refuse to be swayed by external pressures or uncertainties. Confidence is not about arrogance or putting on a facade of superiority. It's about being secure in who you are and in the choices you've made. It's about showing the world and yourself that you don't need to overcompensate or act out of desperation to prove your value. Desperation, on the other hand, sends the opposite message. It implies a lack of control, a lack of self-assurance, and a fear of losing something or someone. But here's the truth: what is meant for you will never require you to chase it. Composure is an extension of confidence. It's the ability to remain calm and deliberate, even in situations that might provoke anxiety or uncertainty. People often mistake composure for indifference, but it's much more than that. It's a reflection of inner strength and self-control. By staying composed, you show that you're not easily rattled or swayed by circumstances. You convey that you're in charge of your emotions and that you won't let anyone else dictate your state of mind. Confidence is also about boundaries. When you know your worth, you won't allow others to overstep or treat you in ways that undermine your dignity. Staying confident and composed means holding firm to those boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable or when others try to test them. For instance, if someone contacts you with half-hearted intentions or vague apologies, your confident response might be to require clarity or to take a step back altogether. Your composure in those moments shows that you respect yourself enough to demand more. Desperation, by contrast, comes from a place of fear of rejection, fear of loss, or fear of being alone. But confidence knows that rejection is not a reflection of your value. And being alone is not a punishment, but an opportunity for growth. When you respond from a place of confidence, you radiate a sense of abundance, showing that you don't need anyone or anything to complete you. This doesn't mean you don't care, it means you value yourself enough to wait for what aligns with your standards. Staying confident and composed also involves listening more than you speak. Often when emotions run high, the impulse is to over-explain, justify, or fill silences with words. But silence, when paired with confidence, can be incredibly powerful. It gives you the space to think, to process, and to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. It also shows the other person that you're not in a rush to prove anything. Your confidence speaks for itself. In the moments where your confidence is tested, remind yourself of the bigger picture. This interaction, this conversation, this decision, it's all part of a larger journey. Staying composed doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, it means channeling them in a way that serves your growth rather than undermines it. Confidence is about showing up authentically, knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. Confidence is a choice you make every day. It's choosing to believe in yourself even when doubt creeps in. It's choosing to value your peace over temporary satisfaction. And it's choosing to respond to life's challenges with grace and dignity. When you stay confident and composed, you not only command respect from others, but also deepen the respect you have for yourself. You become a living example of strength, self-assurance, and quiet power, and that speaks louder than desperation ever could. Value is not something you declare, it's something you demonstrate. The way you carry yourself, the standards you set, and the actions you take all reflect how much you value yourself. When someone seeks to re-enter your life, it's essential to make it clear, not just through words but through your behavior, that access to you is a privilege, not a right. Letting someone earn their way back into your life isn't about playing games or withholding affection. It's about honoring the person you've become and ensuring that any relationship moving forward is built on mutual respect and effort. When you value yourself, you naturally set a standard for how others should treat you. You no longer settle for half measures, vague promises, or inconsistent behavior. Instead, you require consistency, clarity, and commitment before opening the door to someone who once had access to your heart. This doesn't mean you're unforgiving or closed off. It means you've learned the importance of protecting your peace and prioritizing your self-worth. Making someone earn their way back starts with boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they're guidelines that show others how to engage with you respectfully. If someone reaches out, assess their intentions. Are they coming back with genuine effort? Or are they testing the waters to see if they still have a hold on you? Be discerning. People who truly value you will respect your boundaries and put in the effort to show they're serious. Those who don't will reveal themselves quickly when faced with your firm but respectful standards. This is not a time for quick decisions or rushing back into old dynamics. Take the time to observe their actions, not just their words. Words can be easy, but consistent, thoughtful actions take effort. Are they showing up for you in a meaningful way? Are they respecting the growth you've achieved? Making someone earn access to you again means giving them the opportunity to prove their intentions through their behavior, not just their promises. It's equally important to focus on yourself during this time. When someone reappears, it can be tempting to shift your energy toward them, trying to analyze their motives or figure out where things stand. But the real work lies in continuing to prioritize your own growth and happiness. When you pour into yourself, whether through pursuing your passions, deepening your relationships with others, or practicing self-care, you reinforce the message that your world doesn't revolve around anyone else. This not only strengthens your sense of self, but also shows the other person that you are whole on your own. Letting someone earn access to you again is also about recognizing your own power. You are the gatekeeper of your life, and you get to decide who enters and stays. This isn't about control, it's about choice. You've worked hard to grow, heal, and become the person you are today. That work deserves to be protected. If someone wants to be a part of your life, they must align with the person you've become, not the person you used to be. Resist the urge to make it easy for them. Sometimes, out of a desire for reconciliation or closure, we give too much too soon. We accept apologies without seeing change, or we fall back into familiar patterns because they feel comfortable. But growth is about moving forward, not backward. By requiring someone to earn their place in your life, you're not being difficult or unkind, you're being intentional. You're showing that you value yourself enough to require more. This process is not about punishment, it's about respect for yourself and for the relationship you deserve. When you make someone earn access to you again, you set the foundation for a healthier dynamic. You're not settling for breadcrumbs or empty promises, you're inviting them to rise to meet you where you are. And if they're unwilling or unable to do so, you know that your worth is not diminished. You can walk away with your dignity intact, knowing that you chose yourself over anything less than you deserve. Making someone earn access to you again is an act of self-love. It's a declaration that you will no longer accept less than you are worth. It's a commitment to honoring your growth and ensuring that anyone who enters your life adds to it rather than diminishes it. When you hold yourself to this standard, you create space for relationships that are rooted in mutual respect, effort, and authenticity, and those are the only relationships worth having. In conclusion, making someone earn access to you again is not about punishment or playing games. It's about recognizing your own worth and ensuring that any relationship in your life aligns with the person you've become. By setting clear boundaries, observing actions over words, and continuing to invest in your own growth, you demonstrate to the world that your peace, time, and energy are not to be taken for granted. When you value yourself, you naturally set the standard for how others should treat you, and those who truly value you will respect that. This is an act of self-respect and self-love, and it is the foundation for healthier, more authentic relationships moving forward. Thank you for listening and reflecting on this message. Your journey toward valuing yourself and making others earn their place in your life is a powerful one, and I believe in your ability to continue building a life that reflects your worth.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, for a moment and imagine a life where everything you desire already exists, a life where your struggles are behind you and your dreams are your reality. Now open your eyes and realize this truth: resetting your life begins not outside but within you. The first step to resetting is imagination. Your imagination is the creator of your world. What you see, feel, and believe in the mind becomes the blueprint for your external reality. Do not underestimate the power of this inner world. Picture yourself living the life you desire and hold that vision steadfast, for it is the seed from which all transformation grows. But before you plant new seeds, you must clear the garden. Detach from the weeds of doubt, fear, and the habits that no longer serve you. Let go of the stories you've told yourself about who you are and what you can or cannot achieve. Let go of relationships and situations that drain your energy. You cannot reset if you cling to the old. Release it all with grace, for what awaits is far greater than what you leave behind. As you step into this process, align yourself with the vision of your desired self. Ask yourself, who would I be if I were already living the life I want? How would I think, act, and feel? Embody that person now. Act as though it is already done, for this alignment signals the universe to respond in kind. Silence is your greatest ally during this reset. In the quiet moments, you will hear the whispers of your true desires. Shut out the noise of the world, the opinions, the doubts, the distractions. Sit in stillness, for it is there that clarity arises. The reset is not about adding more to your life, but about uncovering what has been buried beneath the noise. And above all, trust. Trust that as you let go of the past, the future will unfold in ways you cannot yet see. Faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. Believe in the power of your inner transformation, and the outer world will follow. Let gratitude be your companion. Even as you reset, give thanks for the lessons you've learned and for the new life unfolding before you. Gratitude accelerates the renewal, drawing to you everything you need and more. Now is the time to reset your life. Release the old, imagine the new, and step boldly into the reality you are creating. The power to transform lies within you, waiting to be awakened. Reset your life and let the journey begin. To reset your life, you must first understand the immense power of imagination, for it is the blueprint of your reality. Your imagination is not a passive faculty, it is the active creator of the world you experience. Everything you see, feel, and interact with in your external life begins within the realm of your inner world. It is the foundation upon which all of your experiences are built. When you redefine your inner world, you set the stage for profound transformation. Imagination is the silent architect of destiny. Every thought, vision, and emotion you entertain creates a vibration within you, and that vibration shapes the circumstances of your life. Often people live reactively, responding to the world as it is rather than consciously designing the world they wish to inhabit. This reactive way of living leads to cycles of repetition, living the same day, week, and year without meaningful change. To reset your life, you must break free from this loop and consciously imagine a new reality. Begin by asking yourself a vital question: what do I truly desire? Not what others expect of you or what you think you should want, but what resonates deeply within your soul. This is where the reset begins, by identifying and visualizing the life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Close your eyes and allow yourself to dream freely, unrestrained by limitations or doubts. Picture every detail vividly: the sights, the sounds, the emotions. The more real it feels in your imagination, the more powerfully it sets the foundation for manifestation. The key to this process is consistency. What you imagine persistently shapes your beliefs, and your beliefs guide your actions and decisions. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own growth by entertaining thoughts of lack, fear, and self-doubt. They allow their imagination to run wild with worst-case scenarios and negative self-talk, creating a reality that reflects those inner states. To reset your life, you must take control of your imagination, guiding it intentionally toward visions of abundance, joy, and success. It is not enough to simply imagine a new life once and hope for the best. The process requires discipline and faith. Every day, set aside time to enter the realm of your imagination, visualizing the life you wish to create. Feel the emotions as if it were already true. If you desire love, imagine the warmth and connection of being deeply cherished. If you seek financial freedom, imagine the security and ease of living in abundance. These feelings anchor your imagination in reality, bridging the gap between thought and experience. As you redefine your inner world, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer reality. Opportunities that align with your vision will appear, often in unexpected ways. This is not coincidence, it is the natural response of the universe to the energy you emit. What you imagine consistently becomes the foundation of your reality, because your thoughts and emotions are powerful signals that attract corresponding experiences. This process is not without challenges. Doubts and fears may arise, whispering that your dreams are unrealistic or unattainable. In these moments, remind yourself that your imagination is limitless, and that the outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. Persist in your vision, even when the evidence of change is not yet visible. Trust that the seeds you plant in your imagination will grow, as surely as a planted seed becomes a tree. The beauty of imagination is that it allows you to create anew at any moment. No matter where you are in life or what challenges you face, you have the power to envision a better future. It is never too late to reset. Each day is a fresh canvas, and your imagination is the paintbrush. By choosing thoughts of love, joy, and possibility, you rewrite the narrative of your life. Your imagination is not bound by the constraints of time, space, or circumstance. It operates on a higher plane, one where all things are possible. Embrace this truth and use your imagination to craft a vision so compelling that it propels you forward with confidence and determination. When you redefine your inner world, you reset your life entirely. The power is within you. Start imagining the reality you desire today. To reset your life, you must detach from what no longer serves you. This is an act of courage and self-awareness, a necessary step to create space for the new. The habits, thoughts, and relationships that have brought you to this point may not be the ones that will carry you forward. Holding on to them out of fear or familiarity only keeps you anchored to a past that no longer aligns with the life you envision. Letting go is not about abandonment or rejection, it is about liberation and renewal. The first step in this process is recognizing what no longer serves you. This requires honest reflection. Take a close look at your daily habits, those automatic actions and routines that shape your life. Ask yourself, are these habits leading me toward growth, or are they keeping me stagnant? Perhaps it's the endless scrolling through social media that drains your time and focus, or the unhealthy food choices that leave you feeling sluggish. While these habits may offer temporary comfort or distraction, they often come at the cost of your long-term well-being and progress. Thoughts are equally powerful. The stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of can either empower or limit you. Negative self-talk, doubts, and fears often become so ingrained that you mistake them for truth. Yet they are merely patterns of thought, shaped by past experiences or societal conditioning. To reset your life, you must release these limiting beliefs. Begin by challenging them. When a thought arises that tells you I'm not good enough or I'll never succeed, question its validity. Replace it with affirmations that reflect your true potential. Remember, your mind is a garden, and you must be intentional about the seeds you plant. Relationships, too, play a significant role in shaping your reality. While human connections are vital, not all relationships are beneficial. Some people may uplift and inspire you, while others drain your energy or keep you tethered to old patterns. Detaching from relationships that no longer serve you can be one of the most challenging yet transformative steps in resetting your life. This does not mean severing ties with everyone who disagrees with you or causes conflict. Rather, it is about discerning whether a relationship supports your growth and aligns with your values. If it does not, it may be time to distance yourself or set healthy boundaries. Letting go requires more than recognition, it demands action. This is where many people hesitate. The thought of releasing what is familiar, even when it no longer serves you, can be daunting. Fear of the unknown often keeps us clinging to the past, but this fear is a barrier to transformation. To move forward, you must trust that what lies ahead is greater than what you leave behind. Remind yourself that by letting go, you are not losing but making space for something better. The process of detachment is not an act of rejection but one of gratitude and closure. Honor the role that these habits, thoughts, or relationships played in your life. They served a purpose, whether to teach you a lesson, provide comfort, or help you grow. Acknowledge this purpose with gratitude and then release them with love. This act of release is liberating. It frees you from the weight of the past and opens the door to new opportunities. As you let go, be prepared for the discomfort that often accompanies change. Detachment can feel like stepping into a void, a space where the old has been removed, but the new has not yet arrived. Embrace this void as a fertile ground for transformation. It is in this space that you have the opportunity to redefine yourself and your life. Trust the process and know that the discomfort is temporary. Remember that letting go is not a one-time event but an ongoing practice. Life is dynamic, and as you grow and evolve, there will always be things that you need to release. Make it a habit to periodically assess your life and ask yourself, does this serve my highest good? If the answer is no, have the courage to let it go. Detaching from what no longer serves you is not about loss, but about making space for the new. It is an act of faith, a declaration that you are ready to move forward. Trust in your ability to release the old and embrace the possibilities that await. Your future depends on your willingness to let go, and with each release, you step closer to the life you are meant to live. To align with the vision of your desired self, you must live from the end, imagining, feeling, and acting as though you have already become the person you aspire to be. This is not mere wishful thinking, but an intentional way of being that redefines your inner and outer world. Your desired self is not a distant possibility, it is a present reality waiting to be expressed. When you embody the mindset, emotions, and actions of this version of yourself, you collapse the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The first step in this alignment is clarity. Who is the person you want to become? What qualities, values, and achievements define this version of you? Paint a vivid picture in your mind down to the finest details. If your desired self is confident, successful, and compassionate, imagine how this person thinks, feels, and behaves. How do they approach challenges? What kind of relationships do they nurture? What goals do they pursue? And how do they carry themselves in everyday life? Clarity is essential because it creates a target for your thoughts and actions. Once you have a clear vision, the next step is to align your mindset with that of your desired self. This requires shifting your internal dialogue and beliefs to match the perspective of the person you aspire to be. If your desired self exudes confidence, you cannot continue entertaining thoughts of self-doubt and insecurity. Begin by affirming the qualities you seek. Tell yourself, I am confident, capable, and worthy. Speak these affirmations not as future hopes but as present truths. The more you repeat them, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious, reshaping your mental patterns. Emotions play a vital role in this process. Your feelings act as the fuel for your transformation. To align with your desired self, you must feel the emotions associated with that version of you as if they are already yours. If you aspire to be joyful and fulfilled, practice cultivating those feelings now. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in the sensation of joy, imagining the experiences that bring you fulfillment. Let the emotions wash over you, anchoring them in your present reality. This emotional alignment sends a powerful signal to your mind and body, reinforcing the idea that you are already living as your desired self. Actions are the bridge between thought and reality. To embody your desired self, you must act as though you are already that person. This does not mean pretending or putting on a facade, but genuinely making choices and taking steps that align with your vision. Ask yourself daily, what would my desired self do in this situation? If they would approach a task with determination, then so should you. If they would treat others with kindness and respect, embody those qualities in your interactions. Over time, these actions will create a ripple effect, reshaping your habits and reinforcing your new identity. Living from the end requires unwavering faith in your vision, even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. You may encounter moments of doubt or challenges that seem to contradict the reality you are creating. In these moments, remember that your external world is a reflection of your inner state. Persist in your vision, trusting that as you continue to align with your desired self, the outer world will naturally adjust to mirror your inner transformation. This alignment also calls for patience and consistency. Transformation is not an overnight process, but a journey of continual growth and refinement. Celebrate the small victories along the way, recognizing the shifts in your thoughts, emotions, and actions that bring you closer to your desired self. Each step, no matter how small, is a testament to your commitment and progress. Aligning with the vision of your desired self is an act of creation. It is about stepping into the truth of who you are meant to be, not waiting for circumstances to change, but actively shaping them through your inner alignment. When you live from the end, embodying the mindset, emotions, and actions of your desired self, you become a magnet for the life you envision. The transformation begins within, and as you align with this vision, you will find that the world around you begins to shift in response. Your desired self is not a distant dream, it is a reality you are creating in every moment. Start now and live as the person you are destined to be. Silence the noise around you to reconnect with the truth within. In a world saturated with constant activity and endless distractions, it's easy to lose sight of your authentic self. External voices, societal expectations, and the demands of daily life can drown out your inner guidance. To reset your life, you must retreat into solitude and stillness, creating a space where the noise fades and your deepest desires can surface. The first step is recognizing the value of stillness. In the busyness of life, stillness can feel unproductive or even uncomfortable. Yet it is in these quiet moments that clarity emerges. Imagine a glass of muddy water. Only when it is left undisturbed do the sediments settle, revealing the clear water beneath. Your mind works the same way. When you silence the noise, the mental clutter dissipates, allowing your authentic desires and thoughts to rise to the surface. Finding solitude is not about isolating yourself permanently, but carving out intentional moments to be alone. Create a space where you can retreat from the demands of the world. This might be a quiet room in your home, a park bench, or even a secluded corner of a library. The location matters less than the intention behind it, to create a sanctuary where external distractions cannot intrude. Once you've found your space, embrace the stillness. Turn off your devices, mute notifications, and let go of the urge to fill the silence with activity. At first, this quiet may feel foreign or even unsettling, as the mind is accustomed to constant stimulation. Thoughts may race, and you might feel the pull of unfinished tasks or the weight of unresolved emotions. Allow these sensations to come and go without judgment. Stillness is not about achieving perfect peace, but creating a space where you can observe your inner world without interference. As the external noise fades, begin to listen to the whispers of your inner truth. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what others expect of me, not what society values, but what resonates deeply with my soul. These desires often exist beneath layers of conditioning and fear, but in stillness they reveal themselves. Trust what arises in these moments. Your authentic desires are not random, they are the compass guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. Stillness also offers a chance to confront what is holding you back. The noise of daily life often serves as a distraction from unresolved fears, doubts, or past wounds. In silence, these issues may surface, demanding your attention. Rather than avoiding them, see this as an opportunity for healing and growth. Acknowledge these feelings, sit with them, and ask what they are teaching you. By facing these inner obstacles, you clear the path for a true reset. Cultivating stillness is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. Incorporate moments of quiet into your daily routine, even if only for a few minutes. Start your day with meditation, sit in silence during lunch, or take a walk without any distractions. These small practices create a habit of reconnecting with yourself, ensuring that the noise of life does not drown out your truth. The beauty of stillness is that it reconnects you to your innate power. When you strip away the external influences and listen to your inner voice, you remember that the answers you seek are already within you. You no longer need to chase validation or approval from others, because you are rooted in the truth of who you are. This self-awareness empowers you to make choices aligned with your authentic desires, setting the foundation for a life of purpose and fulfillment. As you silence the noise, you may notice a profound shift in your perspective. The problems that once seemed overwhelming lose their grip, and the path forward becomes clearer. Stillness brings with it a sense of calm and certainty, a reminder that you are not defined by the chaos around you, but by the peace within. The true reset begins when external distractions fade and you reconnect with the essence of who you are. In this quiet space, you can discern what truly matters, release what no longer serves you, and realign your life with your deepest desires. Silence the noise, embrace the stillness, and allow your inner truth to guide you forward. This is where transformation begins, not in the clamor of the world, but in the quiet wisdom of your soul. Trusting the power of belief is the cornerstone of any transformation. Your life will reset when you embrace the unwavering faith that change is not only possible but inevitable when aligned with your inner conviction. Belief is not a passive hope but an active force, a seed planted in the fertile soil of your imagination that, with care and attention, blossoms into tangible reality. To reset your life, you must first reset your mind, for it is belief that shapes the world around you. Belief begins with an inner vision, one that transcends your current circumstances. It is the ability to see beyond what is visible and hold steadfast to a possibility that is not yet manifest. This requires a willingness to detach from doubt and fear, those persistent voices that whisper, "It's too late," or "You're not capable." Instead, replace these with affirmations of possibility. I am capable of change, my life is transforming, and everything I need is within me. These affirmations are not mere words, they are declarations of faith that signal to your subconscious mind to act in alignment with this new belief. Faith in unseen possibilities is the driving force behind every major shift. Consider the great innovations, movements, and personal triumphs throughout history. None of them began with certainty in the outer world, but with an inner conviction that defied the evidence of the senses. This is the essence of belief, trusting in the reality of something before it can be proven or seen. To reset your life, you must adopt this same mindset, believing not in what is but in what can be. Belief is powerful because it influences every aspect of your being. It reshapes your thoughts, fuels your emotions, and directs your actions. When you truly believe in the possibility of transformation, you begin to think in ways that align with your desired outcome. Your thoughts become more optimistic and solution-oriented, paving the way for creative ideas and new opportunities. Your emotions shift from fear and frustration to hope and excitement, energizing you to take bold steps forward. Even your body responds to belief, radiating confidence and attracting positive interactions. It's important to understand that belief is not about ignoring reality, but about reinterpreting it. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, view them as stepping stones. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you can create. This shift in perspective is crucial because your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. As you cultivate belief, the energy of transformation begins to ripple outward, reshaping circumstances to align with your vision. Belief requires persistence. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the progress seems slow, or when setbacks make you question your path. These are the moments that test the strength of your conviction. Instead of succumbing to doubt, use it as an opportunity to reaffirm your faith. Remind yourself of why you began this journey and the vision that inspired you. Revisit the emotions of success and fulfillment as though they are already yours. Each time you choose belief over doubt, you strengthen the foundation of your transformation. Trusting the power of belief also means letting go of the need to control every detail. Transformation often unfolds in ways that are unpredictable and beyond your comprehension. Have faith that as you hold your vision and act in alignment with it, the universe will conspire to bring it into being. This does not mean sitting back and waiting, but actively participating in the process, knowing that the how is not your concern. Your role is to stay rooted in belief and take inspired action, trusting that the results will unfold in perfect timing. The power of belief extends beyond individual transformation. It influences the energy you project into the world. When you believe in your potential, others begin to see it too. Your conviction inspires and uplifts, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your personal life. This interconnectedness is a testament to the profound impact of belief, not only on your life but on those around you. Gratitude is a transformative force that accelerates renewal, bridging the lessons of the past with the possibilities of the future. It is not simply a response to what is already present, it is an active state of being that aligns you with the life you desire. To reset your life and invite new experiences, cultivate gratitude not only for what has been but also for what is yet to come. In doing so, you create a powerful energy that magnetizes the life you seek. The first step in practicing gratitude is acknowledging the lessons of the past. Often we view our struggles and challenges with regret or resentment, wishing they had unfolded differently. However, every experience, no matter how painful, carries within it the seed of growth and wisdom. Reflect on the moments that tested you, the decisions that shaped you, and the paths that led you to where you are now. Instead of lamenting what could have been, express gratitude for the strength, insight, and resilience these experiences have given you. They are the foundation upon which your renewal is built. Gratitude for the past is not about glorifying difficulties but recognizing their role in your evolution. It allows you to release the weight of regret and bitterness, freeing yourself to move forward with clarity and purpose. By appreciating the journey you've traveled, you honor the person you have become and set the stage for the transformation you seek. Equally important is cultivating gratitude for the future unfolding. This requires a shift in perspective, seeing the future not as uncertain or threatening but as an open canvas filled with infinite possibilities. When you express gratitude for what is yet to manifest, you align yourself with the energy of abundance and expectation. This is not wishful thinking, but a profound act of faith that bridges the present moment with the reality you are creating. Visualize the life you desire and feel gratitude as though it were already yours. Imagine the joy, peace, and fulfillment that come with living this new reality. Let this gratitude fill your heart, radiating outward into every aspect of your being. This practice is a powerful signal to the universe, affirming your readiness to receive and experience the transformation you seek. Gratitude acts as a magnet, drawing opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your vision. Living in gratitude also shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have or what isn't working, you begin to see the blessings already present in your life. This shift in mindset creates a ripple effect, amplifying positive emotions and attracting more of what you appreciate. Gratitude becomes a self-perpetuating cycle, where the more you give thanks, the more you find to be thankful for. To integrate gratitude into your life, start with simple daily practices. Begin each morning by reflecting on 3 things you are grateful for, no matter how small. It could be the warmth of the sun, the sound of a loved one's voice, or the breath that sustains you. At the end of the day, take a moment to review the events that unfolded, giving thanks for the lessons, connections, and experiences that enriched your day. These practices, though seemingly small, build a foundation of gratitude that permeates your entire being. Gratitude also requires presence. Often we become so focused on the past or future that we overlook the blessings of the present moment. Pause throughout your day to notice and appreciate the beauty around you: a blooming flower, a kind gesture, or the rhythm of your heartbeat. These moments of presence anchor you in gratitude, reminding you of the abundance that already exists in your life. Gratitude is not only a personal practice but a way to deepen your connection with others. Expressing appreciation to the people in your life strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of belonging. Whether it's a heartfelt thank you or a simple acknowledgement of someone's effort, these acts of gratitude create a positive exchange of energy that benefits both giver and receiver. As you embrace gratitude, you will notice a profound shift in your perspective and experiences. Challenges become opportunities for growth, setbacks reveal hidden blessings, and life unfolds with a sense of wonder and possibility. Gratitude is the bridge between where you are and where you wish to be, a reminder that renewal is always within reach. In resetting your life, let gratitude be your guide. Appreciate the lessons that have shaped you, give thanks for the blessings already present, and hold gratitude for the future you are creating. This practice will not only accelerate your renewal but transform the way you see and experience life. Gratitude is the key to unlocking the fullness of your potential and stepping into the abundant, renewed life that awaits you. In the journey to reset your life, the power lies within you. Each principle we explored: redefining your inner world, releasing what no longer serves you, aligning with your desired self, silencing external noise, trusting in belief, and embracing gratitude forms a roadmap to transformation. By committing to these practices, you reclaim your power, create space for renewal, and step confidently into a future shaped by your deepest desires. The reset you seek does not come from external circumstances, but from a shift within. As you embrace these truths, life will naturally reorganize itself to reflect the new, empowered version of you. Trust the process, hold faith in unseen possibilities, and carry gratitude as your compass. In doing so, you align yourself with the boundless potential of creation. Thank you for embarking on this journey of renewal and self-discovery. The life you desire is already within your reach. Step forward and claim it.